All right, good morning, traders. Today is June 14th, 2024. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody out there in digital land, and I'm talking about Rumble and YouTube and Facebook. Appreciate it. Thank you for being a member of the group or a subscriber of the channel. Thank you. Appreciate that. My SPY pivot this morning remains at, well, it's moved down a little bit. It's 540.30 above it. I'm a bull, below it I'm a bear. SPY made a lower low and a lower high yesterday. Closed with a, excuse me, 2-hour uptrend and a 10-minute uptrend. QQQ and SMH made new all-time highs. FNGU made a new 2-year high. SPY, QQQ, FNGU are still in uptrends. IWM and Diamond Dow remain in downtrends. Diamond Dow made a lower high and a lower low, closing under a bearish trap under the 17 EMA. IWM made a lower high and a lower low, closing underneath a bearish trap and underneath the 17 EMA. Gold and silver still in downtrends, made lower highs, lower lows, closing below bearish traps underneath the 17 EMA. USO also in a downtrend, made a higher high and a higher low, closing above the bullish trap over the 17 EMA. UNG still in an uptrend, made a lower high and a lower low, closing inside the bullish trap over the 17 EMA. US dollar index still in an uptrend, closed near the 105.20 area. Okay, so after it bounced off the 200 SMA, it ripped right back up to those highs that it recently made in the prior days. All right, let's go take a look at some charts. Let's take a look at SPY. And let's blow this up, put it on the daily chart. Let's pick up another one. I think I got another one here. All right, so here's SPY. Here's yesterday's price action. Got a lower high, lower low, closing over the bullish trap over the 17 EMA. Prior day, we made a all-time high right there. You can see a little slight pullback. Like to see 3 days of consolidation over this support line. We'll see what happens. Not looking good, being since IWM and Diamond Dow still in a downtrend, and not to mention the dollar's rising. So we'll see what happens with today. And FNGU has been up 2 days in a row. We'll see if they can do a third one and carry the SPY and keep it up here in this bull flag. So let's take a look. SPY, again, daily chart in an uptrend. Let's take a look at the 2-hour. 2-hour, you can see we left the day with an uptrend. We might open the day with a downtrend in the overnight activity. So on the 10-minute chart, we have currently, and it's only 8 o'clock, still got an hour and a half to go. All right, currently we have an uptrend right there in SPY. And we left the day we had an uptrend. It was still open right up there. So 10-minute uptrend, 2-hour uptrend, daily uptrend. Everything was bullish. I mean, why not? It just made a new all-time high the day before. All right, let's take a look at QQQ. And here's QQQ on the daily chart. Made a brand new all-time high. Closed over the bullish trap over the 17 EMA. Okay. SMH, it's not an indice, made a new all-time high, closing over the bullish trap over the 17 EMA. FNGU made a new 2-year high, closing over the bullish trap over the 17 EMA. Okay, IWM, which, there you go, remains underneath this downtrend line right here. All right, yesterday's price action, not this candle, but this one right here underneath the arrow. Lower high, lower low, closing underneath a bearish trap underneath the 17 EMA. Failed to make a new high right here. Okay, just couldn't make it. So we got kind of like a sell-off there. So Diamond Dow still in a downtrend, making Well, it's kind of not in a downtrend, but it is in a downtrend. We're making, we took out this low here yesterday, so that puts us in a downtrend. There was a high, there's the low, so we took out the low right there. So Diamond Dow in a downtrend, and you can see it right here. Right there. All right, so Diamond Dow in a downtrend. Yesterday's price action, lower high, lower low. Closing below the bearish trap underneath the 17 EMA. On our technicals. Okay, the day before we were up in the buy zone. We got tossed out, went all the way down to the midpoint, had a little shimmy shake, and then the bears even threw us off the midpoint. And I think the bears scored a touchdown right here. All right, the bears pushed it all the way into the oversold zone, where we kind of bounced out of there and just ever so slightly wound up in the sell zone. So nothing really positive to report on T2122. T2123, yesterday's price action. You can see red almost from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. Nothing positive going on there. And we still got this gap up here. I was looking to fill that gap yesterday, and or even the day before. They never filled it the day before, and they never filled it yesterday. So here we are, kind of still trapped underneath this falling 200, and here we are. We've been melting through. We melted through the 30% line, and now we've melted through the 50% line. We've melted through the rising 200 SMA, and we just keep dropping. Are we going to come all the way down here to the lower 30% line? It's kind of looking that way. This was the rubber band candle right here. No, this today would mark the rubber band candle for the midpoint. So we'll see what happens. On the 3-bar, this would have been the rubber band candle right here, the free floating candle below the T2123, and you can see we broke that yesterday on T2123, just melting right through a rising 200 SMA. So nothing good to report in small cap and mid cap land. We're at the midpoint. I'm not seeing a bounce. I don't know when they intend to give us a bounce, but I'm not seeing buyers step in, traders. Just not seeing buyers step in. I'd like to see a nice V-bottom buyer step in, bounce, but I'm not getting it. FNGU bullied all day, gapped up, and just traded at VWAP for most of the day. All right, pulled back to the 17 EMA, then bounced back up. So FNGU over the over the flat 200 SMA. I wanted to see FNGU get up on top of this resistance and hold this area. I said it may go up and consolidate 3 days straight, or it may go up and then come back and pull back to it. So we'll see if they're going to pull back to it today, or if that's happening after the 3rd day. So here's the 1st day up over that resistance line. That's yesterday, marks the 2nd day. And we'll see if they can get one more day up over this resistance line, hold support, and then we could see another pop to the upside, hopefully. We'll see what happens. That's FNGU on the 15-minute. We'll go back, look some charts. Excuse me. SMH, this is yesterday's SMH candle. Brand new all-time high, still in an uptrend. IYT. All right, you can see IYT still in a downtrend. See right there? See this downtrend line? Still underneath it. All right, not until we take out these highs right here. Okay, it's got to take out 66.88 in order to get into an uptrend. Right now, still under a downtrend. Spiked the downtrend line, but I don't know if that's today's candle. Yeah, it's yesterday's candle, but lost it. See that? Lower high, lower low, closing under bearish trap. Under a bullish trap, and under the 17 EMA. That's IYT. Still in a downtrend. XLF. All right, XLF still in a downtrend, making lower highs and lower lows. Today's price action is this candle right here, lower high, lower low, closing underneath the bearish trap underneath the 17. All right, still in a downtrend. So we don't have transports on our side. We don't have financials on our side. We don't have small caps and mid caps on our side. So why are we making new all-time highs, right? Well, it's all coming from the FNGU. It's those 10, or excuse me, there's 10 in there, but 9 are doing most of the work. But there's those mega cap that are heavily weighted in the QQQ and SPY. That's why we're making new all-time highs, because nothing here is really working except for the SMH and the technology sector. Speaking of technology, take a peek at that. New all-time high yesterday, right there. Little doji candle. Okay, maybe a pause. We'll see what happens. Maybe a pullback now. XLK. All right, definitely in an uptrend, getting it done. All right, let's take a look at XLI. XLI still, see what we got. Double top there. Still in an uptrend. All right, XLI still in an uptrend. But if they break this low right here, 120.88, you can see we're not far from it, 121.30. 120.88, we're in a downtrend. Okay, yesterday's price action was right here. Lower high, lower low, closing below, bearish trap below the 17 EMA. Let's go back to SPY. Let's hit it up on a clean one. All right, so this would have been a big igniting move right here. Okay, so I'm going to get out my red marker, put in a red line so you can see what we got for this igniting move right there. So I got that. Let's see. Okay, let's put this in. So this would have been an igniting move. We closed here, and then we gapped up, and we went up to here. So that would have been like a nice igniting move. Not a big candle. That's not really green. It shouldn't have been green. It shouldn't have been red. It should have been green. Okay, so I take that off, and let's put a green one in. All right, so this is the move that we got on 2 days ago. All right, so there's the move we got. Nice green candle. Now, whenever we get a green candle, we're looking for follow through. Okay, we're not getting any follow through, so that's kind of a clue that might get kind of top. Time to cool off for a while. So you see that would be a green candle up. And notice it was near the end of the move with no follow through. So there's the move up. Here's the pivot. Here's the higher low, right? And then here's the big candle up that we made. And then here we got a pretty good sized candle at the end of the move right there. So this could be getting kind of toppy here. They couldn't make higher highs, couldn't get any follow through from there. So we may melt for a while. We'll see what happens. All right, but if we can hold 3 candles up over this support, all right, that'll be nice. I will have some hope until we break that support. So there's SPY. All right, I just did the sectors. Let's take a look at the economic calendar. You know what we'll do? We'll do silver and gold real quick before we go hit the economic calendar. Let's take GLD. All right, so here's GLD making lower highs and lower lows, so it's still in a downtrend. Yesterday's price action is this candle right here, lower high, lower low, closing under the bearish trap under the 17 EMA. Silver did the same thing. Silver's making lower highs and lower lows, and silver, you can see, did the same thing. Lower high, lower low, closing under the bearish trap under the 17 EMA. Take a look at USO. Some energy. We are not in an uptrend till we clean out this high right there. Okay, so that's 77.69. It's either that, we create a higher low, and then take out this high. Either one. All right, but USO is still in a downtrend. All right, so let's take a line. You can see that's where we are. There's your downtrend line, taken from the peak to the cross. Right there. Still in a downtrend. Yesterday's price action, kind of bullish, even though it's red. Lower high, lower low, but closing over the bullish trap over the 17 EMA. UNG in an uptrend, making higher lows and higher, not quite higher highs, double top up there. Today's price action, we got a yesterday's price action, lower high, lower low, closing inside the bullish trap over the 17 EMA. Still very bullish, UNG. All right, let's go take a look at our economic calendar. All right, first one is right there. All right, here's our economic calendar. You can see Wednesday was CPI. That was the big rocket day. All right. So that was the big day that we had that big, nice green candle. Yesterday we had jobless claims, PPI. Yeah, PPI final demand and a natural gas report. This morning we got import-export prices, consumer sentiment at 10. That's it. So it's a really light day. You got options expiration Friday. Let's see where Max Payne is. All right, Max Payne is at 536. And oh my gosh, we have 3.5 puts. That's a lot of puts to every call. So there is a whole lot of put action. We could see a short squeeze. Let's see what happens. Earnings calendar. All right. Again, nothing that's going to move the market, but some familiar names. Monday, nothing that's going to move the market, but Lennar probably will have an impact on its home builder sector. That's 80 billion right there. All right. So again, familiar names, nothing that's really going to move the market, but that will move the sector. Tuesday, 34 Woodside Energy. Again, some familiar names, but nothing that's going to move the market. Wednesday, familiar names, but nothing that's going to move the market. So that's it right there on earnings calendar. So if the bulls want to get it done, there's no earnings to squash them. All right, there's the only thing that's going to squash them is the fact that the IYT and the small caps and mid caps are not participating. And then the other thing that's going to squash it is the US dollar. See if I can find that. Here we are. So here's the dollar. We were in a downtrend and it was looking really pretty. It was looking really good when we consolidated. See underneath this 200 SMA? That was looking really nice. But then we had this rip. All right. And I thought, well, it's just a rip. If it doesn't get any follow through, it'll probably get crushed and come back down. But then we had the following day, it ripped up over these highs and put the dollar breaking the downtrend, starting the uptrend. Okay, and then we took out that high. And then I had real nice hope here. Okay, price came all the way back down to the 200 SMA. And guess what? It bounced all the way back up over these highs. So dollar still in an uptrend. It was looking really good in this downtrend here, but it just lost it. So dollar's back into an uptrend. In order to get this back into a downtrend, we have to break this low right here. and it's a little ways away, but it could be done. There's a nice candle right there. If we could get a red candle down, that would help start it off. But dollar's getting bullish. Whenever the dollar's bullish, makes our goods and services more expensive. In the global economies, especially the foreign nations. So the conversion rate becomes more expensive to them. So they tend to pick other countries or companies where the conversion rate doesn't hurt them so bad. So having a strong dollar does not help our markets. And whenever we can sell our goods and services over other countries, that's good for our markets because it brings in more revenue. More revenue usually equates to higher profits. Higher profits usually equates to earnings per share, a higher earnings per share. So seeing earnings per share seeing earnings per share go up is a good sign that this company is growing or just doing really well, being really managed well. So either one, we'll see what happens. So that's the morning for me for today. Marching orders again below 540. I'm a bear. Above 540. I'm a bull. We'll see if they can hold it up here. We may get a pullback today in SPY, and pullback may come around. I'm looking at this area right here, 538.68. Looks like they hit that this morning. And then the one below it is 537.85. So 538.68, 537.85. So we'll see what they want to do this morning. All right, so there's the markets. Again, today, green wipes out red, that's an entry. Red wipes out green, that's an entry. Okay? Red wipes out green, that's an entry for a short. Green wipes out red, that's an entry for a long. But you want the green that wipes out red, over the all-time high anchored VWAP. You want it over the pivot. Red wipes out green, you want it under the all-time high anchored VWAP. You want it under the pivot. Okay? So that's the marching orders for this morning. All right, so I'll take questions. If there's no questions, I'm going to render my video. And I want to thank everybody out there in digital land for subscribing and being a part of my blog and my trading journey. Thank you.